God
Yeah,
forbid you go to
so
prison and do a lot of time. One thing I've heard from a couple of people I know who are doing serious time right now is that, you
hmm
know, you are out in the streets, you're going at your enemy. They're taking lives, you're taking lives. Your family members are passing, their family members are passing. But when you get in prison, it's about black, it's about numbers. So you have to
yep,
adjust to sit down next to somebody who may have took your cousin's life, or, you know what I'm saying, it's from the set that took your brother's life. You know what I'm saying? Can you talk
right.
about that aspect? Because that has to be a hard thing to adjust to.
Yeah, well, I never been to prison, but I know, like I got all my close homies. I have one of my homies from the '60s. His name Roddy Bam. He was a lifer. My boy Baby Sick, that was one of my close partners. He was a lifer. Lil Hawk, close friend. He was a lifer. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of lifers, and I know a lot of like people who've done life and people who've done like 10, 15 years. And they tell me it's the same thing. Yeah, in there it's about respect. You can't even fight your enemy unless you ask one of the head dudes from the black card. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can I? And then they gonna want to know what's the situation. Okay, why? All right, and if it's a decent situation, they'll let it go down, but they gonna do it behind. Not they ain't gonna do it in front of the other races. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense. So yeah, it's really about about race because you got a whole nation of Mexicans, Hispanics who what I'm saying, like they have their people, you have your people, the whites have their people, then you have others, what I'm saying, which a lot of others they roll with the blacks, like Asians, Tongans, things of that, because the simple fact that the Hispanics be on the Asians. They don't like Asians, you know what I'm saying? So they'll come and be with us. You know what I'm saying? You know how blacks are, we accept everybody, you know what I'm saying? We don't really be on that race stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, the brothers, they, from what I hear, they accept, a lot of different races, just to make the black card deep like the Hispanic card is, or like the Aryan brothers card is. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to all have each other's back from what I understand. But yeah, that's got to be a hard pill to swallow though. Somebody, you've been fighting with all your life, and then, you get caught up and you go in there, and you ain't got to be his friend, but you got to have a mutual understanding.
Yeah. And I left this one for last specifically
Okay.
because, man, a coffin, once again, one of the roads that,
Right.
is definitely there. But if you could put a number on it, you don't have to, but if you could put a number on it,
Mm-hmm.
how many
Mm-hmm.
friends, family members would you say you've lost over the years? Not just from your set, but yeah, I always hear that.
Right.
Man,
Whew.
I always get that
Man, I'm
response.
telling you, it was a point I was going to a funeral every year. So not just from just my side of Inglewood. I'm just going to speak on just my side of Inglewood. It got to be at least um, since I started, which I started in 90. It was either 90 it was between 89 and 91 when I started. You know what I'm saying? Officially, like being from it. So between then and now, I can at least, because I could count at least. And all these people haven't died from killings and shit. It's like sicknesses and not killings, and maybe like one of the homies died in jail and stuff like that. But 30 just from my neighborhood,
Wow.
and maybe from Crenshaw Mafia, all the homies that I've known throughout the time. I'll say at least maybe 20. You know what I'm saying? A good 20 of them, or yeah, about a good 20 of them since the '90s, since the early '90s. The families, man, there's no telling, because a lot of them, it was like a lot of them was like they was getting into it with each other, so they lost a lot too. And I'm not, I know a lot of families, but I don't know that many more than like I know the Crenshaw Mafias or the Center Park. But they lost a lot. But I haven't been to like a lot of their funerals. I've been to a few, but not a lot. And then, on the other side of Inglewood, that's just a whole different, what I'm saying? Because it's like two sides of Inglewood. We consider our side the Crenshaw side, which is the Avenue, Center Park, Crenshaw Mafia, Inglewood family. But Inglewood family, they in the middle of the city, so they like on both sides. And then on the other side, you got neighborhood Pyro, Queen Street, CPF, Cinderella Park Family. Yeah, so you got all that going on that side. So it's like two different sides. So we really don't function with each other. Like, I mean, we function with each other, but not like how the Crenshaw Mafia is in the avenues. Like we right across the street from each other, so we kick it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Center Parks, we all grew up together. We know them a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hung out with them a lot. So we just like our little circle right there is like kind of tight. So, you know, that's just how it be.
Thank you for that list. But I have one more thing I would love to talk with you about on a personal level, if it's cool with you. But one of my favorite blood rappers of all time, his life was taken from him way too, early. I think he would have been the biggest thing ever. But can you tell us anything about B Brazy? Did you know B Brazy much? Did you hang out with him?
I knew Brazy pretty good, real good actually. Like I met him through his other homie, Lil Laniac.
Laniac Deuce.
And so they was trying to get on, on the Bangin on Wax, but we knew them from coming up to like Darby Park, and you know what I'm saying, the lanes always function with Inglewood, so just passing, you know what I'm saying, and then we met them guys, and Brazy was cool. We ended up staying like later on in life, we stayed around the corner from each other in Hawthorne for like a couple years. He was a real down to earth, funny dude, you know what I'm saying, real into this banging life though. He was like, you know what I'm saying, one of them ones that, he was never gonna stop. It don't seem like it. He was never gonna stop, you know what I'm saying? Or he may have calmed down a little bit, but you know what I'm saying, he was in it for the long haul, and he was a good dude, man. He was real, like I said, he was real funny, you know what I'm saying? You could tell in his music. He had character. He was a good dude, man. Let me see some things I can tell you about Mr. Bruce.
Real name is Bruce, huh?
Us in the studio when we did, his name is Bruce. So we was in the studio, doing Diamond Riders 2, we all got really, really tight, you know what I'm saying? Because the reason why we did Diamond Riders 2 was because they had a last album deal, and it was really for Brazy and Little Hawk to get who they was going to get and to do the last album. But Brazy really didn't, have no homies like that. Well, he had homies that rap, but I don't know what transpired why he didn't bring nobody along. But he came and got me and my brother, and then he came and got we Green Eyes. He went and got Green Eyes. You know what I'm saying? It was like, do this for Lil Hawk. So we was like, man, we all with it. Let's do it. So that's kind of how that came about.